You'd have to think about why this place. Why would this place be a gathering place? They'd have lots of other options. Lots of other places where they could gather. Why this place in particular? What's unique about it? I think it's true to say that this river was a pretty major barrier for people who traveled mostly on foot. The prairie people, at least the way I've been taught, didn't really travel on the rivers as much as maybe we'd think. They mostly traveled on land, and so the main barriers were these big bodies of water, like these rivers, and this is one of the bigger ones in this area. So it's like a natural barrier, which kind of leads us to believe it's a natural gathering place. But also, if you're traveling with all your stuff like they were back then, you'd have to have a bank that's fairly accessible, fairly easy to get down, and then a place that's safe to cross. So all of that kind of added up together leads me to believe that this is this area where they came right through here for thousands and thousands of years. So, the fact that there's a gathering place here now of a different kind, and that the university is sort of a gathering place of knowledge, it's kind of carrying on that tradition, that Pehonan tradition is the way I like to think about it. This is what I was told, is that when the earth was created and all this was put here, everything was in place. All the animals, all the plants, all the trees, water, everything we needed was in place. And the human beings were the last ones to be put on earth. And when we arrived, we were kind of pathetic. We didn't know how to do anything. We needed a lot of help. And as a result of that, the animals had a big meeting, and they decided that they would help us out. They would try to teach us a few things. So the wolves were the main ones to do that, actually. The wolves kind of took the lead, and they're the ones who taught us how to live together. They're the ones who taught us how to hunt, how to look after each other, how to care for each other, how to live as a community. And so the wolves are remembered in that way, in those ways. I heard one old lady say one time that she said, "I'll have lived a good life if I managed to care for my children and my grandchildren as well as wolves care for their pups." Right? So just the admiration and respect that's there. In contrast, I guess, to like Little Red Riding Hood or Peter and the Wolf, just the different ways that we understand these animals and their role in our lives. So that's connected to, I guess I'd call it an ethic that's existed here for a really long time. In Cree, that concept is known as wâhkôhtowin. Say, mio wâhkôhtowin. And the way I understand that is it's a wisdom concept, and basically what it teaches is that as human beings, we understand ourselves as enmeshed in a series of relationships that give us life. And we depend on them for our survival. And so the highest form of human being, the most intelligent human being, in all the different ways you can think about that, is the one who acknowledges that regularly and tries to live their life in acknowledgement of that. And so we still try to hang on to that, of course, because we know that our way of living today is not going to last. Something's going to change, and we're going to have to ground ourselves again, literally. But so what wâhkôhtowin says is, it says that the energy that comes from the giver of life lives inside of us, because we consume, the things we consume contain that energy. So that sun is the giver of life and our relative. Just like that water, every morning we get up, we drink that water, and we carry it around. They say 60 to 70% of our bodies are made up of that water over there. So it's literally our relative. We can't live without it. Same with these trees, same with this grass, and so on. That's what wâhkôhtowin is about.